Okay, so picture this. You're at home, it's the hottest day of summer, and suddenly
Oh, yeah.
your AC gives up the ghost.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Right, it's panic time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially like down here in Miami. No, AC, that's an emergency.
It is. So we're diving into the world of AC repair today and how to find the right person to get you cooled down.
Absolutely.
And we're using this awesome guide we found from Wholesale AC Services in Miami.
Great company.
So we can all be prepared.
Yep.
Because it is not as simple as just like finding the cheapest option online.
Oh, definitely not. You want to make sure that they're licensed and certified.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. You want to make sure that anyone that's working on your system, that they meet industry standards.
Okay. So, like, are there certain things we should be looking for or asking about?
Yeah, so obviously licensing certifications. You want someone who is, it's almost like a doctor, but for your AC unit.
Right.
You don't want to go to a doctor who's not qualified.
You want to make sure they went to med school.
Exactly. You want to make sure that they went to the right schooling, they have the right training, so that when they're working on your system in your house, that they're doing it safely and effectively.
Right. Okay, because you don't want to make the problem worse.
Exactly. And that's where experience also comes into play.
Oh.
So, you wouldn't want a brand new surgeon operating on you, right?
No, that's a good point.
Experience counts in every field, and AC repair is no different.
So what is it about the experience that you think is so important? When I call someone, what should I be looking for?
Well, someone who's more experienced has seen a lot more problems. They've honed their skills. They're going to diagnose the problem faster. They're going to be able to fix it more efficiently.
So they've seen it all at that point.
They've pretty much seen it all. And, and their technique, is probably more refined.
They're not going to break as many things.
Exactly.
Okay. So credentials and experience.
Uh-huh.
Got it. But also, let's be real, we all check online reviews.
Oh, yeah, of course. We do our research.
Before we hire anyone?
Absolutely.
So how important are those for an AC technician?
Incredibly important. I mean, online reviews, recommendations from friends, family, neighbors, all incredibly helpful in this process.
Right. Because it gives you a sense of like, are they going to show up on time? Are they going to be professional?
Exactly. And you can get a feel for their communication style, customer service, all of that.
Yeah.
Those are very important things when you're dealing with, a potentially stressful situation.
Right. It's a vulnerable time. You don't have AC.
Exactly.
Okay, so you wake up, it's the middle of the night, your AC is blowing hot air. What do you do?
Yeah, that's the worst. So in those cases, you really want to look for a company that offers 24/7 emergency service.
Okay.
You don't want to be, stuck sweating it out, waiting until the next morning or, waiting until Monday when they open.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's not a fun situation.
So 24/7, that's a check mark.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what about like, we've all heard these horror stories of like, the bill is way more than you expected it to be, or like they find all these extra things.
Yes.
How do we avoid that?
Transparency in pricing is so important.
Okay.
A reputable technician will be upfront about the costs, labor parts. There'll be no hidden fees, no surprises.
So we want a solid quote up front.
You want that solid quote so you know exactly what to expect so you can budget accordingly.
And I can ask for a breakdown.
Absolutely. Always ask for that breakdown. What am I paying for here? Get it itemized.
Okay. Transparency, that's a big one.
Yes. Very important.
What if you get it fixed and then a week later it breaks again?
Uh-oh.
Do you have to start this whole process over again?
Well, this is where warranties and guarantees come in.
Okay.
So reliable technicians will stand behind their work. They will offer a warranty that will protect you as the customer. So if the same issue occurs, within a certain time frame, they're going to come back, they're going to fix it, no extra charges.
So there's like a little insurance policy almost.
Yeah, exactly. Peace of mind.
Okay. So speaking of insurance, if I'm hiring an AC technician, should I be asking about their insurance?
Oh, absolutely. You want to make sure that they're insured. Accidents do happen.
Right.
And, insurance will protect both the technician and you, the homeowner, from any liability.
Okay. So we've got credentials, we've got experience, online reviews, 24/7 service, transparent pricing warranties, and insurance.
That's right. It's a lot to consider.
It's a lot to consider.
But ultimately, you're looking for someone who is qualified, reliable, and someone that you feel good about trusting your AC system with, someone you feel comfortable having in your home.
So it's a big decision.
It is a big decision.
It's not one to take lightly.
Yeah, don't just go with the first person that you find.
But we've got a good checklist now.
Yeah, you've got a good checklist. You can start doing your research.
I'm feeling much more confident.
That's good. I'm glad.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, another thing to keep in mind is the type of AC unit you have, because, AC units come in all different, you know, shapes and sizes, different brands, models, technologies, and a technician who might be, amazing with one type might not be so familiar with another.
Okay, so it's like finding a specialist,
It is finding a specialist.
not just a general AC doctor.
Yeah. So, first of all, you want to make sure you identify your AC unit's make and model.
Okay,
That information is usually on a label somewhere on the unit.
got it.
And then when you're contacting different companies or technicians specifically, or ask them about, hey, what's your experience with, this brand, this model?
So I could say like, hey, have you worked on many Carrier Infinity units?
Exactly. And a good company or technician will be upfront about their, level of experience with that brand.
So that's a good question to ask then.
Yeah, definitely. And, when we're talking about getting specific, let's talk about the problem itself.
Okay.
Because knowing you know what's wrong, or at least having a good idea of what's wrong, can help you even further narrow down the search for the right technician.
So like, is it not cooling? Is it making a weird sound?
Exactly. Is it leaking refrigerant? Certain technicians might specialize in, specific types of repairs. For example, if you have a refrigerant leak, you really want to find someone who specializes in leak detection and repair.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So how do I know what to look for? What are like the common signs that my AC is in trouble?
Well, first of all, you want to listen for any unusual noises coming from the unit.
Okay.
So things like rattling, grinding, screeching.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, those are definitely signs that something's not right.
Okay.
Also, pay attention to the airflow coming from your vents. If the air is weak or uneven, that could be a sign of a problem.
Got it.
And of course, the most obvious one is the temperature. If your AC is struggling to maintain the temperature you set, that's a major red flag.
Okay, so noise is airflow temperature?
Those are the big ones.
Are there any like less obvious ones though that I might be missing?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that people often overlook is their energy bills.
Okay.
If you notice a sudden spike in your energy consumption, that could be a sign that your AC is working harder than it should be, which, could indicate an underlying problem.
Oh, I never would have thought to look at my energy bill for that.
Yeah, and finally, pay attention to any strange smells.
Okay.
So a musty or a burning odor coming from your AC could be a sign of mold growth or electrical problems. Both of which require immediate attention.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so, it's just being observant, being aware of any changes in your system.
So if I know all these things, then I sound smarter when I call the AC person.
Well, and, a good technician will be able to, quickly identify the potential causes based on, your description of the problem.
Yeah.
So the more information you can provide, the better.
So not all AC problems are created equal.
That's right.
And I need to figure out what mine is before I call.
Exactly. And don't hesitate to ask, the technician about their experience with, similar problems. You want someone who, has that confidence that they can diagnose and fix it, efficiently.
Okay. You mentioned refrigerant leaks earlier.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about those? Why are those so bad?
So refrigerant leaks are one of the most common AC problems.
Okay.
And if they're not addressed promptly and properly, they can actually lead to, some serious consequences.
Okay.
Well, first of all, your AC is not going to cool properly, and you're going to see those energy bills go way up.
Oh, no.
But more importantly, refrigerant is a harmful chemical
Okay.
that can be, detrimental to the environment if it leaks into the atmosphere.
I didn't realize that was an environmental problem.
It is. It is. So you want to make sure, you find a qualified technician who, follows proper procedures to repair those leaks to make sure that, the refrigerant is handled responsibly.
So they're not just cutting corners to get out of my house quicker.
Exactly. You want someone who's doing it the right way.
Okay. So we've talked about credentials, experience, online reviews, making sure the person knows my type of unit and the problem that I'm having,
We've covered a lot.
and the environmental impact of those refrigerant leaks.
Yes.
What else should we be thinking about when we hiring someone? Okay, so we've covered, all the technical stuff, but we also need to think about, like, the human element here.
Right.
This person's going to be in my house working on my stuff.
Yeah.
I need to feel comfortable.
Exactly. You want to find someone that you can trust and someone that you can communicate with easily.
Yeah, so beyond, the qualifications, what are some signs that this is a good person to let into my house?
So First and foremost, pay attention to their communication style.
Okay.
Do they listen to your concerns? Do they explain things clearly? Do they answer your questions thoroughly?
Yeah, because I don't want to feel like, I'm being talked down to
Right.
or that I'm asking stupid